Change has always been a part of the human experience, but right now, the rate of change we are experiencing is greater than ever before. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced disruptive change on a global scale. One disruptive change, familiar to many, is forced remote work. At the onset of the pandemic, we collectively brought our offices home in an effort to flatten the curve. 2 years later, many of us are still cohabiting with our work. Though the pandemic has influenced the way we work in such ways, it is not the first disruptive change to do so, and it will not be the last. By recognizing that COVID-19 is an opportunity to derive important lessons, we can serve our future. I recognized this opportunity early on. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been researching a team of government employees regarding their experiences with remote work. Every 6 months, I sit down with these employees and I ask them structured questions that allow me to understand how their experiences have evolved over time. I have them share challenges and benefits, strategies they use to mitigate challenges and leverage benefits, their performance, and their well-being. In March 2020, employees in my sample were unanimously uncertain, underperforming, and unhappy. 2 years later, some employees share the same struggles, while others have become so satisfied with the experience of remote work that they never want to return to the office. By definition, these latter employees have adapted, meaning they have made positive adjustments throughout the pandemic that have allowed them to maintain their performance and their well-being. This begs an important question. Can we explain why some employees adapt to disruptive change over time and others do not? I will answer this question in my dissertation. Through a preliminary analysis of my data and a review of the relevant literature, I've targeted 3 key behaviors that I believe will successfully explain employee adaptation. First, I will examine how employees appraise the changes they experience. Do they view them as opportunities or threats? Next, I will examine how employees cope with the changes they experience. Do they respond to change with ingenuity or do they avoid change? And finally, I will examine how employees utilize their social relationships during change. Do they seek out social support or do they isolate? I will examine each one of these behaviors over time for evidence of positive adjustments that allow employees to improve their performance and their well-being. If future change is inevitable, then we must endeavor to prepare for it. My research will support future policies and practices that will ensure readiness for future change. Thank you.